Test, 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 testing. 1, 2, 3. What's up, guys? Thank you for tuning in. Back with a live stream. In my regular content, yesterday I published a video doing a first impressions review unboxing of the Belkin MagSafe webcam mount for Mac Notebook, because I did compare it. So this is a one-day first impressions. If you're looking to upgrade your webcam on your Mac Notebook, this is worth it, I think. If you have an iPhone, if you have an older Mac Notebook with a 720p webcam, but may not be worth it if you have a newer Mac Notebook with a 1080p webcam. So let's go ahead and talk about that now. In the video yesterday, the whole reason I bought this adapter was to use my iPhone as a webcam. But I made the assumption that the iPhone would have 4K. It would be able to use the continuity camera using 4K. As I mentioned in yesterday's video, and if you may or may not know, there is a webcam that Logitech sells. It's $200. It's a 4K webcam. It's the Brio. It's a 4K webcam. I was looking at purchasing one because I like to make these live stream videos, but I also wanted to review it because, a 4K webcam is nice. But I didn't, for some reason, think it was necessary to spend $200 right away without maybe experimenting with what I have currently already. I have an expensive video camera, but most importantly, I have an iPhone that is also capable of 4K. And in knowing that continuity camera is a feature, I assumed that the iPhone would use 4K, and therefore I wouldn't have to pay the $200 for the Brio. But what I found out was, unfortunately, that is not true. So my first day impressions of this is it worth it? And I think the answer to that is tricky because it is for just a select group of people. And it gets even more select because you need to have an iPhone and an Apple laptop for this to work. But also, if you have a newer Apple laptop already, which many of you probably do, and will eventually have a new modern Apple laptop with a 1080p webcam, using your iPhone as a continuity camera, because it only has 1080p, just like the webcams do now on the MacBooks, makes this not worth it to have. Also, one other thing I wanted to quickly mention is, first and foremost, we are shooting this live stream with the iPhone using the continuity camera with this mounted. So let me know what you think in the comment section or in the chat, what you think. First impressions compared to the 720p webcam on my MacBook Air, this looks fantastic. Much, much better. And also, I can use this continuity camera, the iPhone's microphone. So I have the option of the microphone on the MacBook Air or the iPhone, which is really good to see. So also comment down below what you think of the audio quality, since I am using the iPhone with continuity camera. But what I also wanted to mention was having this on the back of your phone. If you've got something like a MagSafe charge puck, you'll have to go back to using Lightning. That was one thing I noticed, which I sort of did not like. And another thing I noticed was, in order to best make use of this, you would either need to be streaming all the time, making content all the time, or consuming video content, whether that be a movie, a TV show, or a YouTube video, because otherwise the only reason you would have this is to use it for the continuity camera, which is why they include the kickstand on the back and the fact that you can hold it. So it's an interesting product. It really is, because it really only serves a select handful of people. And going into the future, buying Mac notebooks, because they will have updated 1080p webcams in the future, I am positive they will, it makes this sort of irrelevant. So with that being said, like I said, it's an interesting product. It's for a select group of people, and going into the future, I think it's irrelevant. The only thing that will keep it relevant is the kickstand. So interesting product, and not really worth it to buy it if you've got something like an iPad or a modern Mac notebook with a 1080p webcam. So another thing I wanted to talk about was where this is worth it. So that first segment was kind of like bad mouthing it, like it's kind of confusing. It's really not all that great of a product. But on the other hand, it's a really good product, because if you have the newer Mac notebooks, yes, they have the 1080p webcam, whether that be the MacBook Air 2022 or the MacBook Pro 2021 and later, they have the 1080p webcam. Or if you're using something like a Studio Display, an Apple Studio Display, it also has a 1080p webcam, I am pretty sure, and center stage. But the key word there was center stage. The MacBook Pro, pretty sure that has center stage, and I'm pretty sure the MacBook Air does too, but so does this, and it also has a couple of additional features. So let me show you here, and they actually work in Google Chrome. So let me just quickly note that, yes, I am shooting this on a MacBook Air. This live stream is happening on a MacBook Air. And in order to do this live stream, because you can't do live stream in Safari, you need to do it in Google Chrome. And the good news here, I'm happy to report, continuity camera does work in Google Chrome, and actually the features work as well. So in a live stream here, what's really cool is I can actually activate portrait, and as you'll see, it gives it a nice bokeh effect. It's kind of hazy around my head. It focuses just on my face. And then if I deactivate portrait mode, the background comes back into focus. It looks detailed again. You get center stage. So in Google Chrome, doing a live stream, I get center stage, which is really cool. And of course, you get this on the newer MacBooks as well. But one thing that I am pretty sure the new MacBooks do not have, that this does have, which actually makes it worth it. Like I said in the first half of this video, not really worth it if you have some of the newer MacBooks or maybe a newer iPad, is desk view. So if we start desk view, I can actually do a hands-on demonstration. Not sure if it's showing up live stream, and actually it's not showing up live stream, which is kind of unfortunate. But if you could see it, believe me, it's a really good idea and is only available if you have the iPhone as the continuity camera. So if you want the desk view, which brings your hands and the desk into the foreground, like if you want to do like a hands-on type video, you can do that with the continuity camera. I can't show it over live stream, unfortunately, but it is a feature when you have the iPhone as the continuity camera. You don't get that with the newer MacBooks. You do get the studio lighting and the portrait mode and the center stage, but you don't get the desk view. So really good stuff. Just wanted to point that out where it makes this worth it. And also just wanted to show you that things like center stage, portrait, studio light, reactions, I get reactions as well, all work even in places like Google Chrome, which you wouldn't expect. So really good stuff here. You got all these little reactions and stuff with continuity camera. And on top of everything else, you get this really great lighting and detail and quality using the iPhone as the webcam. But like I said, may not be worth it if you have some of those newer MacBooks or maybe a newer iPad. But you do get the desk view, so that does kind of make it worth it. Paying $35, not really all that expensive if you want desk view, which is actually great if you're someone like me who does product reviews. And last but not least, what I think is important to mention here about this Belkin MagSafe is Apple has, as we all know, taken this turn in the past couple of years to make their manufacturing processes clean, eco-friendly, carbon neutral. But this is a product that I think will actually add waste for all of the reasons I mentioned in the very beginning of this live stream. Like I said, all of the newer MacBooks and MacBook Pros and Apple Studio displays and iPhones and iPads, they all have 1080p FaceTime cameras. So what this brings to the table is nothing more, honestly, than desktop view, which I just talked about, and this kickstand and a key and a finger ring on the back that attaches via MagSafe. When in reality, the main reason I should say you would buy something like this is to mount it to your Apple laptop to use your iPhone in continuity camera mode. But like I said, what makes this, I think, a wasteful product, an irrelevant product they still sell and manufacture and ship is the fact that, like I said, all modern iPads, MacBooks, MacBook Pros, the Apple Studio display have 1080p webcams, making this irrelevant and I think a waste. So this is probably something older that was released a couple of years ago. They still sell it at Apple's store, which is where I bought it, at the Apple store. But I think going forward, Apple really needs to take a look at their inventory and do some, cross-examination into, the technology that they currently are shipping their main products with versus, the accessories that you can enable those devices with. This one I think is a waste. And by removing this from their store shelves, I think will help them in getting towards that point of being carbon neutral. But anyway, I digress. This has been just a quick one-day review, first impressions. I picked this up for $35 at the Apple Store, thinking that I could turn my iPhone into a 4K webcam, but continuity camera does not support 4K video. So if I want 4K video, I still need to pay the $200 to get the 4K Logitech Brio. I thought maybe by spending only $35 for this mount, I could save $170, but unfortunately, that is not the case. I also feel bad because I did a review, and really this product covers just a handful of people. Third, it's actually irrelevant and kind of wasteful. The fact that Apple still sells this on store shelves when most of the devices that they ship now, sell, have 1080p webcams. But I digress. It does have one silver lining, but like I said, it's good for people like me and me only, which there are only several of. I can use my iPhone in desktop view in continuity camera to do product demonstrations, which, may be beneficial to some of you. But I think for the most part, you'll want this to use iPhone as a continuity camera to talk to people and get in on Zoom meetings and FaceTime calls to interact with loved ones or coworkers. And the unfortunate part is if you have, like I said, a newer Mac notebook or an Apple iPad and you do those things, you can do those things on those devices, making this irrelevant because the iPhone shoots only 1080p in continuity camera, not 4K, which doesn't make a difference because all the newer MacBooks and iPads and stuff also shoot in 1080 and have portrait mode and center stage and studio lighting. So anyway, my first impressions of this, not a good one. Not really worth it to pick this up unless you have an older Mac notebook. Also kind of wasteful that Apple still sells this on store shelves. I will enjoy using it to do product demonstrations because I can use desktop view. But I think for the most part, for most of us, kind of an irrelevant item. It was at the bottom of the shelf at Apple's store, and there were only 2 of them available. Okay, guys, thanks for tuning in. This has been a first impressions after a single day, after 1 day of using this. This is the Belkin iPhone mount with MagSafe for Mac notebooks. My name is John. Hit that like button, subscribe, comment down for more, and see you in the next video.